Hello, I'm Lara Kochersen and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. The Middle East is a ticking time bomb due to continued Israeli strikes on Gaza and Lebanon. According to Palestinian authorities, more than 41,000 Palestinians have been killed, many of them women and children. And more than 97,000 others have been injured, while much of Gaza remains in ruins. As the conflict marks its first anniversary, Israel has not achieved its goals of destroying Hamas, returning hostages held in Gaza, and those displaced in northern Israel back home. Netanyahu's government has instead expanded the conflict to multiple fronts, bringing even more uncertainty to the region. He warns that Lebanon could face the same destruction as Gaza. More than 2,000 Lebanese have been killed, most of them in the past few weeks by Israeli forces since Hezbollah began firing at Israel in solidarity with Gaza. Israeli airstrikes have also displaced more than 1.2 million people in Lebanon.
What's happening now is a large humanitarian crisis in my own country, in my own homeland, in my own blood, Lebanon. And I urge you to take this video seriously. Millions of people have been displaced and thousands have been killed in the process. And for those of you who have been asking me, yes, thank you, my dad is safe. We managed to get him out of Lebanon and back here in the US safely. He's with me now, we're safe. We're safe. But you know what's crazy? Us Lebanese people, we haven't even known the meaning of safety in the past few months. We don't even know what it's like to feel safe anymore. The people of Gaza don't even know how to feel safe anymore for years.
Israel's attacks in Lebanon have triggered a massive exodus of Syrian and Lebanese families into Syria. Some of them are going back to a country they escaped due to another war. The United Nations is calling for urgent attention from the international community.
This is the main crossing point between Lebanon and Syria. This is where, after September 24th, the beginning of the military action in Lebanon and of the Israeli airstrikes, we witnessed a massive influx of arrivals into Syria. Many Syrian refugees living in Lebanon and many Lebanese citizens crossing to the Syria territory. The Syrian authorities have received all people arriving, irrespective of their nationality. 70% of the people that have crossed from Lebanon into Syria are Syrian.
Due to the striking similarities of the Israeli incursion in Gaza and Lebanon, Gazans have been sharing their experiences and offering advice to those in Lebanon.
Question is, what do we do if we have to live in a war zone? First of all, I hope that you don't have a war and you don't have to live through what we went through. Secondly, you have to pack a bag of important things such as gold, money and documents, IDs, birth certificates, graduation and university certificates. Then, each person should have their own personal bag with their clothing. Winter is coming, so be mindful of the weather. So cash your money out because you're going to spend money. You never know what you will need to buy.
1 year on, pro-Palestinian protests have intensified across the world.
Free, free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free, free, free!
Finally, former FTX crypto customers have something to smile about. After 2 years of legal battle, they're on the verge of getting their money back. A U.S. court has ruled that FTX's creditors are now set to receive up to $16.5 billion. FTX's troubles began back in 2022 when the company went bust. And last year, its boss Sam Bankman-Fried was sentenced to 25 years for stealing customers' money before it lost everything. The court ruling will entitle customers to receive about 119% of what they had in their accounts at the time of bankruptcy. But not everyone is happy.
Keep in mind that claims have been valued at petition date prices when Bitcoin was worth around $16,000. So basically, creditors are getting kind of rugged on the increase of Bitcoin's price since November 2022 when FTX filed for bankruptcy. And the only people winning in this situation are the lawyers who have been paid over $1 billion already.
Once hailed as one of the most powerful figures in the hip-hop industry, Sean Diddy Combs is at the center of an explosive scandal. With over 120 misconduct allegations, with some stretching as far back as the 90s, the music mogul faces accusations that have rocked both the entertainment world and the broader cultural landscape. As new victims come forward, the case is raising uncomfortable questions about how the industry must have turned a blind eye and how his power and influence were abused. But how did we get here? Sean Combs rose to fame in the 90s as a producer and artist. By the age of 24, he had established himself as a major player in the music industry. But alongside his professional success, whispers of questionable behavior followed him from the very beginning. Despite multiple lawsuits and arrests for violent incidents throughout his career, Diddy always managed to avoid lasting legal consequences. Whether by drop charges or hefty settlements, he seemed untouchable. Enter Cassie Ventura, the beginning of the end.
When Diddy was 38 years old, he signed a 19-year-old artist named Cassie Ventura to his record label Bad Boy Records, and he was obsessed with her from the beginning. Remember, he's 38 and she's only 19 years old, and he would not take no for an answer. The two of them did date for about a decade. He was able to pretty much dangle her career and all of her dreams in her face if she would not comply and obey him. Diddy would also force Cassie to take substances against her will and would often SA her. He would often also force her to take these substances and then sleep with other random men while he either watched or recorded them. These are what Diddy called freak-offs, and these would often last several days. Cassie was often also brutally beaten by P. Diddy if she would not comply, and in 2016, Diddy attacked Cassie in a hotel and then paid the hotel staff for the surveillance footage, which has now been leaked online. And in 2018, Cassie did luckily escape Diddy's abuse.
In 2022, New York passed the Adult Survivors Act, giving victims a one-year window to file lawsuits against their abusers, even if the statute of limitations had expired. In November last year, Cassie took this opportunity, filing a lawsuit that became the tipping point for a wave of accusations. Since then, over 120 individuals, including minors, have come forward with their own stories. The most shocking revelation came in March this year when U.S. Homeland Security raided Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles. The raids uncovered damning evidence, including recordings and an unsettling number of items linked to the alleged misconduct. This culminated in Diddy's arrest on September 16th on charges of trafficking, racketeering, and abusive conduct. If convicted, he faces life in prison with a minimum sentence of 15 years. Diddy's arrest and the volume of accusations against him have prompted an industry-wide reckoning. Names like Jay-Z and Beyoncé have been mentioned, not as participants, but as part of a larger conversation about the culture of silence and complicity in the entertainment world. Social media has exploded with speculation and misinformation, with lists of celebrities who attended Diddy's infamous parties circulating.
You may have seen this list of P. Diddy party attendees going around online. This list did not come from the prosecution in P. Diddy's. The people who are posting this list around online, one, don't even know where it originated, and two, are hoping you're not actually reading what is written next to these people's names. They're hoping you see the name highlighted and go, oh my god, Kamala Harris was at P. Diddy's freak-off parties. It says there's no record of Vice President Harris attending Diddy's personal parties. Not every party Diddy had or was at was a freak-off. So the people sharing it around online are just trying to perpetuate misinformation.
Now, some good news for crumble cookie lovers in Australia. The beloved sweet treats are finally coming down under, officially. The goodies have been causing quite the buzz in Sydney after a fake pop-up store was selling overpriced, days-old crumble cookies flown in from the US. But the real drama unfolded when people learned that this pop-up wasn't authorized by Crumble and had no connection to the US brand. Here's how it all went down.
Was it worth it?
I can't believe I waited an hour.
It doesn't look like cookies to me. It looks disgusting.
In terms of freshness, 0 out of 5. Is this Twix? It's a 3 out of 10. Out of 1 out of 10.
Crumble Cookies are a cult US bakery that did a pop-up in Sydney, and the hype around it was pretty nuts. But then it's come out that this pop-up wasn't actually affiliated with the official Crumble Cookies, and the reception around it has not been good. The pop-up made a statement saying that they're just massive fans of the cookies, so they flew to LA, bought the cookies, flew back to Australia to sell them for $17.50 per cookie, and they've also claimed that with the flights and accommodation and customs duties that they've barely made a profit, and they've just done all of this because they love the cookies so much.
The Instagram account that these people make ended up getting taken down. I'm gonna guess it was probably for like impersonation or something like that, but their TikTok account is still up. I was doing a bit of scrolling and just kind of looking at the replies to comments where they basically just confirmed that, yeah, like they're just Crumble fans and they don't actually have anything to do with the company, but they just brought the cookies over to sell for this pop-up.
I read one comment that they replied to saying that they'd paid the duties and taxes, so they've done nothing wrong.
Given how they don't give a hoot about copyright, I don't think they care about food safe protocols. I don't care if there's allergens in there. If somebody was seriously injured with these cookies, right, who are you going to pursue? Crumble has nothing to do with this. And they put up cute little comments in their video being like, we're just fans.
When the 2019 movie Joker grossed over $1 billion worldwide, and Joaquin Phoenix won the Oscar for Best Actor, many people thought a sequence would be a good idea. Spoiler alert, it's not. Joker Folie à Deux, starring Lady Gaga and Phoenix, had a worse than expected start at the box office in its debut weekend. The film was projected to make between $50 to $65 million in US ticket sales, but it fell short, pulling in just $40 million. After its premiere at the Venice Film Festival in September, the reviews were harsh. Critics slammed the sequel, saying it was bogged down by long, tedious courtroom scenes and lackluster music moments, leaving many questioning where the $200 million budget went. One of the biggest issues was the film's weak character development, which failed to justify it as a worthy sequel. It's also bizarre that the cast and director have refrained from calling it a musical, which disappointed many filmgoers when they found out it's actually a musical.
Let's build it.
Told the Joker to do not watch this movie. So I'm gonna give you a quick spoiler-free review. Save your time and money. Don't watch this movie.
That was torture. Whoever decided to make it a musical, that was a crazy idea.
Getting to like the musical part, they do nothing but drag and slow the film down. While those scenes are beautifully shot, they actually really don't add much to the movie. They instead come off really awkward and add no energy to the movie.
That was the biggest pile of trash I have ever watched. I wanted it to be over so long ago. I kept looking at my watch. I had no idea how long it was. It was just non-consensual karaoke, the movie.
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.